Hello, 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 and welcome back to Disco Elysium. Yep, gonna be more fun with everyone's favorite, not quite sober, but trying detective Harry Dubois and the far more competent Kim Katsurugi. It's gonna be fun, ain't it? Let's get in. Let's turn off the DS. Okay, so find the children of the Big Sea. Look for Ruby on the coast. Ruby was a Cinderblock village left yesterday. Side the church, ask around. Hey, Seth, hope you're doing okay. Turn the felled myrtle and consult the wind if you don't know what to do. Other than that, keep searching the coast. Also, we need to check the boardwalk for bullet traces. Yeah. It's been wild. Wonder what the best part of this place is. Revachol? I guess it would depend on what you're looking for. I mean, myself, I'd probably be spending a lot of time at the bookstore. Because it looks like a pretty well-stocked bookstore. Okay. Yeah. Consult with the winds.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
Hey, could this structure have been used to take the shot?
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
Alright. Really, the church is in the way? That's the bunker. Looks like a straight shot to me, but... Alright, Kim. I mean, I guess maybe the map isn't to scale.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Ah. Need, point into shivers. I'm nearly up to level, nearly leveled up. Yeah, actually more shivers would be a good thing. Okay.
Can I help you?
Guard. That's another thing at the whirling.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
I have to warn you, I might have discovered the whirling's part of the doomed commercial area.
What? Why would you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing.
So he knows of the doomed commercial area and its address. He's thought about this.
Whirling's listed on the intercom outside as one of the businesses in Building B, the doomed commercial area.
I've been working here for a long time, and that intercom has never been used by the Whirling.
Hold on, not once? Isn't that already a sign of decline?
It's a sign of the Whirling in Rags not being part of the doomed commercial area. If anything, we're revitalizing this neighborhood.
Relax, Mr. Gart. I'm sure there is no doom. He simply wants to share his discoveries with you.
Well, the Whirling was once the East Delta Pinball Arcade, which failed, though perhaps the Whirling will escape the curse.
Does this look like part of a doomed commercial area? This pre-revolutionary tilework, these high ceilings, the nice rooms, well, most of the rooms. For 14 years, man. That's how long I've worked here. I've kept this place up through hail and through sleet. Fuck me, if some doom ghost...
He's done a fine job too. Though he's spoken of the place dismissively before, The hostel is actually very important to him.
You really care about the whirling, huh?
Yeah. It's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way. Especially for this neighborhood. I've been trying to keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area.
Well, you shouldn't be so worried about the label, you know.
I don't place much stock in the curse and so on, but the label frightens the clientele. Who wants to stay at a doomed hostel? Everything's doomed enough without that.
Who named it Whirling in Rags?
Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company.
Yeah.
It was you?
You look surprised. What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's from a song.
A song?
Hail, Holy Queen, by the Ateneers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad.
Good pick.
Well, good luck with you in this place, then.
Luck has got nothing to do with it. I need to think about where I'm going to place those pinballs. I have a feeling they're going to help.
Yeah.
Against the doom, it's implied.
So, if you didn't have anything else to tell me about my establishment, can we, wrap it up?
Yeah,
Yes.
something else, nothing. Okay. Level up them shivers. Oh yeah, the lore of this place is certainly interesting.
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away.
Fascinating.
The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting.
What am I doing?
Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hat.
What do I see?
Grey sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world.
How does it feel?
Your shirt sticks to your chest. The shoulders of your jacket grow heavy. The cold finds its way under your skin. You shiver, and the city shivers with you. You're not dressed for this weather. You should get an overcoat or a patrol cloak.
Yeah. Yeah. What's to the east?
There's a fleet on the corner. A plastic coat is folded into a small triangle under the counter by the window. Beyond that, the strike breakers have gathered. The great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. A chill runs down your back. You shudder like an animal trying to shake water from its hide.
Well, we'll shake our shoulders.
You shudder, looking down at your feet. Dirty rainwater runs veins into the plaza's snow. Two green snakeskin shoes stand at attention on the mosaic paving of the plaza.
And to the west?
Sheets of rain over the water, a flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave washing the coast of Martinez, with its motorboats and gently swaying reeds. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet beyond the Bay of Revachol. Ghosts rise into the sky.
Who are you, ghosts?
The skyscrapers of La Delta, the financial district. Faint golden light seeps from the office windows. Will you ever go there?
Yeah, will I?
No, you are just one of the hundreds of thousands who watch them rise across the bay from Martinez every day.
Well, what's down the shore?
Urban coastline, rain dripping off Eternite-covered roofs, cinder blocks left over from half-finished construction, a defunct research and development building, once seized by revolutionaries. An old wooden church stands on stilts above the water.
And beyond that?
Coal City, end of all lines. Your hair is an oily mess flecked with ash from neighboring coal plants. Smokestacks rise somewhere in the distance.
Well, yeah, that's how things go. Yeah, what's the south to me?
A traffic jam.
Oh, yeah.
Rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue of a king shudders. He too is cold. The canal bridge has been raised.
And the other side?
The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork, and tar stretches northward. 4-story buildings as far as the rain can fall. The snows melt in Jamrock.
What is Jamrock?
Revachol is the capital of the world. Jamrock is the capital of Revachol. Droplets form on your eyelashes. It's home.
Where the hood at?
Have a brother in the cut. Where the hood at?
Why am I not there?
To be in Martinaise, where no one goes, at the runoff point of a long-forgotten canal, in the whitest part of town, in the shadow of the day the revolution failed.
What am I doing here?
Standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches inland.
Well, let's look further.
In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched above the motorway exit. Precinct 41 hunches in the rain. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink.
Yay, more XP. What's to the north?
Capeside apartments.
Yep.
Tower blocks crowd one another. 4.46mm bullets still lodged in their war-torn stone walls.
Relatively small arms. That would be what? 25 caliber? Oh yeah, no, whoever painted the overworld of this game did a really damn good job. And I love when it zooms out and zooms in.
Hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a war that was lost long ago. Clotheslines go to waste in the rain. Radios play. The news at noon.
Closer to here?
A yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed.
Yeah.
The lingering odor of decomposition mixes with that of damp soil.
What's below?
Collapsed storm drains. Old sewage systems flooded with rainwater. Hidden weapon caches from the revolution. Doors leading down to Le Royaume. The catacombs to which, for 3 centuries, they delivered the blue-blooded dead.
That seems ominous. And above?
Coalition-era statics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms, rotors flutter silently. Your sight clears.
Oedipus.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. I'd recommend you put on your coat.
Yeah. Drop ourselves a quick save before we try this.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Okay, I've got an 83% chance of getting this done. Should be good.
Suddenly,
Thank you.
there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it.
Okay. I needed a 20 and I just got a 21. Jeez. Where's it go?
In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
What's happening?
She's down there.
Sorry? I think she's down there, below the building.
Okay. Why?
Well, we looked everywhere else.
Right. How do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Well, there's a ladder next to the building. Dee-dee. Perhaps we can climb it? Enter through the roof?
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe. Brute force is safe. Look around and find something to break if the ladder fails.
Right. Let's save before we accidentally,
The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
we'll assess it.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You
Yep.
have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're 180?
Yeah, 190, I'm a giant.
Okay, but still, the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. Instead, what if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder?
Okay.
Astral projection. Be open-minded about this.
Sure, let's go into metaphysics, folks. What if I don't climb? What if I just teleport?
Teleportation is not a thing.
Come on, Kim, where's your adventurous spirit?
This really has nothing to do with adventure. We are dealing with basic physics here.
I mean, it won't hurt to try.
Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
8%. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not ready to do that. Yeah.
An old pipe peeks out from beneath the rotten boards of the boardwalk. Could this be an alternative path into the fell building? A
Probably.
building like this must have multiple doors serving various functions. Perhaps a basement access.
Let's take a look.
Your eyes slowly begin to adjust to the darkness inside the drainage pipe. The lieutenant looks over your shoulder.
What's in there?
Ordinary drainage pipe. Darkness.
Okay, what else?
As your eyes adjust, you see some trash. Crumpled up newspapers, cigarette butts. Someone has half-heartedly spray-painted skulls on the right side.
I should have equipped my flashlight. And
And nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the pipe. A syringe.
all right. Let's have the right tools for the job.
Behind the pipe, and ordinary as your eyes adjust. And nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the pipe. A syringe.
Well, I would think I'd get more information with this equipped. We get an felt building through the pipe?
Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, it's highly unlikely, and not without risk to our health either. However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement around.
Oh?
And it's right here. A maintenance door.
Oh.
Behind the pipe, the maintenance door, rusted shut and half.
Physical instruments. Okay, do I have anything? Okay, none of that. Spirit core. -2, so no. Oh, that would have also helped.
Behind the pipe, the maintenance door, rusted shut and half sunken in sand.
I guess we'll just have to use safe scumming.
You and the lieutenant lean all your... Behind the pipe, you and... Behind the pipe, you and the lieutenant... Behind the pipe, you and the...
Come on, we got a better than a 1 in 4 chance.
Behind the pipe, the metal
There
doors
we
are
go.
heavy, and the flaking rust hurts your palms. But together with the lieutenant, you manage to slide them open just enough to squeeze in.
Good work. Shall we?
Let's go in. Should take out your flashlight. Well, luckily... Oh. Overturned table is covered with orange mildew, crawling with something. Old file folders and card. Documents silvery with mold. Ugh. Should probably wear something over my face. In solitary suit jacket. Thick series of thick dusty planes of glass.
This isn't just glass. These are old computation components.
These are computer components?
Yes, filament memories. From the time when wires were cast in glass. slides with an inlaid nervous system.
How'd they do that? Why?
The how was a closely guarded secret. Something that was locked in safes in human heads across the river where they were manufactured. As to why, your fingers don't know. The why is easy, because they hadn't come up with modern silicon-based systems yet. For vitreous cast filament memories, though, these seem incredibly advanced.
Hey Kim, look! Old cybernetics.
So it is. I think it is used to form a single system, slotted in the wall.
Huh. Antiquated office furniture, last century maybe? Collapse nearly sealed the basement. One can barely squeeze by. Glass is covered with grime and dust. Barely see out. Another postcard. Stones fall. Long way down. Gust of the wind at the heights feels dizzying. Yeah, I would not be happy up here. Center support beam has been destroyed by artillery fire. Yay! Okay. Brought down and forgotten so long ago. Beam of the flashlight, a crevice in the wall. Uh-huh. Oop, footprints. Footprints in the sand. One of the souls appears to be more worn than the other one. Ah! Which leads us to know that this is from a trucker. Something in the air. Natural buzzing. Ugh. Tunnel's collapsed. Have to find another way around. Can I squeeze through there? Yes, I can. Stale fabric smell and dust. No one slept here in months. Maybe years. Revolutionary propaganda on the bunk bed. Ancient flyers and brochures. Same slit window you saw from the outside. Pots and plates full of dust and spiders' webs.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man amateurishly gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spider web in the lower left corner of the portrait.
Oh, brush the dust off.
Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly.
Yeah, well, so do I.
Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand, grains sticking to the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope. You shudder.
Hey, Kim, it's Comrade Mezhov.
Yes, I can see that. Looks like some communists were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
The lieutenant does not seem to share your enthusiasm.
Could it be connected to the Mezhov bus we found in the students' room?
Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff.
Maybe I should move in here. Seems cozy.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case.
What's this still doing here?
What most people think of as history has a tendency to linger in random neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Yeah. How long, you think?
Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted.
Yeah, that makes sense. Someone stopped her here recently?
You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Alright. Stuff! Revolutionary's hat. Ooh, +1 to Mazovian socioeconomics. Nice.
This hat is so soft, so warm. It wraps around your head, and your mind tingles with all manner of socio-economic theory.
This is a Ushanka, right?
Kraz Mazov would have worn this Yushenka. Mazov knew where to cook those thoughts. That's why it bears a Mazovian logo. Glory to the revolution, comrade. Whether you like it or not, wearing this hat has made you more communist.
So, one of the drinks for the evening, I got a 2-liter bottle of Clemsford Golden Ginger Ale. I don't know, the grocery store had regular ginger ale and this stuff. Both store brand, so it's not like, you know, branded or anything. So let's see what this New England sort of thing tastes like. That's not bad. It's kind of like a midway between ginger ale and ginger beer. And I kind of like it. Because I like ginger ale. Ginger beer is a little much for me. But this is a little spicier. Yeah. And for only 99 cents a 2-liter bottle, it's a pretty decent deal. Getting louder. Buzzing sound.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost smell.
Lieutenant, you feel something?
No. What do you mean?
Pain, a strange tingling.
I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh.
Some too. Footprints with the right sole worn smooth.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully.
What do you mean?
Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
True.
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
Found out Everett's plan to take the harbor. Maybe we should tell Joyce about it?
I leave that to your judgment. You already know what I think about cross-pollinating information like this. It's dangerous, but...
You just can't be sure. Maybe it will yield something useful.
How bad do you think things could get?
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
Yeah, kinda.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
What do you think's waiting for us there?
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise. Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
Right. Sounds like a good excuse to drop a save. Concrete pipe buried in sand and dust. Money. More money.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice.
Ugh.
It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
As she says the word officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio frequency range is screaming directly into your neural pathways.
Let's not cover them.
That's an awful decision. Why would you not want to shield yourself from it? It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
Are you gonna kill me too?
No, I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my plan, you'd be dead already. All things considered, I'm being pretty reasonable here. I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
The explosion of static you're hearing. It's the ULAN frequency. Blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
Angus said you had a pale emitter.
That boy's really gotta learn to keep his trap shut. And it's not a bloody pale emitter. It doesn't emit pale.
Oh yeah. Much peril. It's like a numbers station.
A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Apparently.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
Yep, it is a numbers station.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking, and you just might get an opportunity to break loose.
How'd you get your hands on this thing?
I built it myself.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Way beyond.
Have you experienced a compressor yourself?
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
Will I stay like this forever?
No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream.
Right.
4, 2, 4, 5, 5, 7, 8, 7.
Omettini pilves. Omettini pilves. Mutta drogga.
This is all great, but let's talk about the man who was killed.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not cops, and of herself merely as prey.
Please, can you turn it down just so I can ask you something?
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
You're looking for a deal on mattress.
Oh boy.
2271047302881.
Dentist.
Lieutenant is clutching his head,
God
grimacing.
damn
Yeah.
it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
Okay.
She's carrying a 2-barrel front loader. Remain careful.
Right.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but she can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much.
Okay.
Just keep her talking, and you'll get through this.
How'd you know we were coming?
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while.
Hiding bullets under floorboards?
So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
She didn't rat you out, by the way. Isabel, the washerwoman?
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back.
Preparing for the worst, huh?
I was. Before I caught you in the pale latitude compressor. I'm fine now.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit.
Did you shoot Lily?
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you.
Well, I mean, it's desecration of a corpse, but it's not murder.
Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
You're right, Clashy was the first to share her suspicions.
Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Titus told me it took some convincing.
Oh, fuck. Took some convincing my ass. And those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what happens to people whom people like.
Oh, it took a lot of convincing, trust me. Like, 3 or 4 of these videos.
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck do the rest of you get by?
I do it by asking questions. I have some for you.
Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
Yeah.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
Did you leave any flowers for Cloche on the roof?
No. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style.
Yeah, these weren't flowers. They were symbols of revolution.
So now I'm leaving revolutionary symbols around? Come on.
Cloche was mourning.
I never did understand why, when someone dies, a hothouse's worth of flowers has to die too.
Alright, so you didn't leave Maybells.
No, I did not.
Did you say Lily was a likable person?
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
She didn't feel sympathy for the mercs. Hard work.
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for what they do.
Feel protected of the Union?
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
They're reasonable.
She didn't hate him, okay?
Alright, got other questions.
I'm listening.
You have an alibi for when Lily was shot?
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon you.
Yeah, but... There was, I want to say it was 15 minutes. Yeah, they said you left to take a really long leak. 15 minutes?
Yeah, and I'm sure they also made some funny remarks about it. They always do. I've driven a lot of long haul and chugged a lot of beer, man.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do either without some power of mind over bladder. And anyway, that wouldn't have been enough time.
Hold on. No one takes a 15-minute leak. And that is true. So... God, I can't remember where I read this. And I don't even exactly know why this article showed up on my random scrolling. But the average amount of time for any mammal to urinate is, I want to say 7 minutes, but I think it might be less than that. Yeah. According to the Georgia Institute of Technology, the testing for biological principles for all mammals to empty their bladders is 21 seconds. Sorry, 7 minutes is way too much. So that goes from the tiniest mouse to the biggest elephant and whale. Because while elephants and whales have bigger bladders, they also have larger urethras, so they can force it out a lot faster. So, hey, a little science in your stream. Haha, stream. Hold on, no one takes a 15-minute leak. Unless you're on the clock and you just need a sit down, upon which, I'm sure I've never taken a 15-minute bathroom break in the middle of a shift at a job.
Look, fuck you, man. I might also have stopped by the bar.
Yeah, Seth, that also isn't great.
She speaketh truth.
Our investigation. Oh, follower girl, Matt. Oh, hey. I got a new follower. And failed to load who's here. Well, thank you. Our investigation has shown 15 minutes was just enough time to commit the murder.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
Play pinball much?
No. Not since I was 14 and hanging out in the only diner in Dardun. Haven't been into low-risk, no-reward games since moving to the city.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Never mind the pinball then. There's a secret way from the whirling bar to the roof.
Don't know it. But also, the shot couldn't have come from the roof. Or we would have all heard it downstairs.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how rowdy it was downstairs. Although, a gunshot typically has a very sharp rapport, and human voices typically are more bassy, so yeah, I think even in a very loud bar, you'd probably hear a shot coming from the same building.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
Yeah.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
I mean, we've got the big thing on her. You like to hang out on rooftops? Ever go to bathhouses?
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna.
What's so great about her antenna?
It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival.
Oh, great. The only reason you hung out on the roof?
The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. Along with Claudia.
So you're sure you didn't shoot the smirk from the roof?
Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar.
Well, you are running drugs for the Union. I've been to your lorry.
So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician.
It really comes as a blow to her.
No, he didn't. I found my own way in.
Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
Maybe?
Beneath it, she's relieved Tommy didn't betray her.
Well, you're a criminal. I can't trust anything you say.
That's your prerogative.
And you have a financial incentive to kill the merc.
Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be able to find this out later.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
Well, just turn the knob down.
There. It's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
But you're threatening it with us, or threatening us with it.
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum.
Well, let's talk about the gun.
And?
See, it's a front loader. You have another gun somewhere?
Sure don't.
That's a very good question. I mean, I guess from Kim's car?
A breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
Oh, where'd you get it?
The gun store.
What gun store?
Trigger Happy Jacks.
Doesn't sound like the name of a real store.
What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of gal.
Well, I can't tell what kind of gun it is.
A knocked away 80 front loader. 2-barreled. Not really what you were looking for, I'm guessing.
There's other evidence I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, evidence.
Alright, let's take a step back.
Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
What happened Sunday night? Tell me your version.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasha comes in, all pale and shuddering.
Mm-hmm.
She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her.
She said you knew someone was wrong immediately?
No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit.
Yeah, that is true.
She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
How'd you manage to come up with a plan so quickly?
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
Her idea?
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone.
I mean, that's not unusual in times of high stress. Some people kind of go into, like, super focus mode.
She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy Boys.
Uh-huh.
She lied to you about that, too.
Showerhead. Sourceful.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed.
You think she killed Layla herself?
As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing.
Right.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
Yeah.
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
So who killed him if it wasn't you?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Okay.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
So she's been researching this too.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side.
Yeah.
He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
Well, if you didn't kill him, why hide?
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
What do you mean, La Puta Madre agent? Well, I mean, I speak a little Spanish. I know what that means.
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself. Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise.
Sorry, Kim.
It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Who's everyone? How do you know this?
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
I know my real name. We found my badge. Oh, fuck yeah, I'm La Puta Madre agent. You better let me go.
Nah. That I'm not planning to shoot you is the extent of the courtesy I can extend to La Puta Madre at present.
What do you do to this Madre anyway?
You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
She's not going to change her mind that easily. She still sees you as a threat.
And she has a lair. You don't think that just sounds a little much?
Wait, one thing. Possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
Okay, well, on the bright side, I've got a really good chance to break the machine. Know about the bunker next door?
What bunker?
The communist hideout back there.
I don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to...
And when I came into town here, was there anyone else with me?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
I don't know what happened to them.
Sure you do. I bet they're just outside waiting. I guess I'll take my chances.
Who was in the squad?
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had two guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either.
Okay, so the two in the whirling rags who kinda know me. What else can you tell me?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying. That sound about right?
No idea who these people are, literally. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer looks out of the window grimly, then puts his coffee down and turns to Patrol Officer Minot. We could either take a room here in the whirling or go home for today. Let's go home, Jean. Nothing's going to happen today, she responds quietly. Jean takes his blonde wig off. Call Heidelstein. He can give us a ride.
Yeah, I know him. They're in Martinez.
Friction, lock, set.
Don't leave me here. Please delete.
Fantastic. I've got to get on the road. Then you can go find your friends. Unless you have anything pressing to ask me.
Well, we're gonna take that out that machine. Or not.
The violent white noise becomes even more overwhelming closer to the compressor. Feels like your brain is swelling up in your skull.
Hold still and try to have an apocalyptic vision.
Officer, are you okay?
Don't worry, Kim. I'm just trying to have an apocalyptic vision.
The pain intensifies as your hands attempt to reach out into the pale chaos.
What are you doing? I told you it's best not to move.
855-269-1837. Special someone.
Let's try not to collapse.
Look, I know this isn't very fun for you, so let's wrap this up. You have a tribunal to attend.
Know something about the tribunal the mercenaries are planning?
Tribunal is an awfully fancy word for what they're going to do. But yeah, I was listening to their frequency. They've finished their investigation.
Ugh.
Now they're gonna put on a show before meting out punishment. Even though those assholes gave me up, I'm worried for the boys. And you. Watch out for yourselves. You seem to have a habit of walking into traps.
Planning to set up a trap for us?
I'm guessing you don't know that a third mercenary has come to town just in time for the tribunal. Now you do.
Good to know.
If one hornet can kill 40 honeybees in a minute, then 3 hornets should be able to kill 120 honeybees in a minute or more, since they'll also be covering one another.
Uh-huh.
The third. Oh, this is bad.
Very.
As I said, watch out.
The pain is becoming unbearable now.
Okay, can't take it anymore. Let's just go.
Glad to have been of assistance. Best of luck to you, officers. Revishal's a bitch.
Yeah.
The woman runs past you and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
Whew.
All things considered, it could have gone worse.
Shouldn't we go after her?
No, I don't think she did it. She's someone else's case now.
What now?
Now we have to come up with a really good excuse for why we walked right into a trap like that. This isn't going to look good in the report.
Uh-huh.
But Dad, maybe there's something in there.
Tremble. The time is now. Ta'ola.
What time?
Time for the show. For Ta'ola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. All life will scream.
Tola, what's that?
Ulogu Theodos. Xeno Zausin. Ipoli Osithien. Echondes Fronisin.
Okay. So that's a delta, that's a lowercase pi. That's a theta. That's a zeta. I mean, it's all Greek to me. And unfortunately, my knowledge of Greek is pretty non-existent. Wait, when does the countdown begin?
Monday morning.
Oh,
The
great.
moment you arrived in this reality are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread.
This is because of the insane world ending I've been saying, isn't it?
Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself.
Are you sure it's not a joke or some kind of coping mechanism?
It's totally also a coping mechanism.
That makes sense. I'm kind of afraid.
So you should be. The world island crumbles at your feet, and in the far plain, Palindropos.
Okay.
Perhaps. Just a thought. This has something to do with the hangover.
That makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna opt out of this Palindroma, whatever it is. That was a mistake.
Okay, yes. Maybe it is just the hangover talking. Or some kind of joke you're playing on yourself instead of working on the case.
Yeah. Ooh. Health items. Fair amount of money. Dark water trails in distance. There's no way out. Yeah, I know that feeling. Cooking utensil. Prepare yourself porridge with bananas. Woo. Now, I myself am a bit more of an oatmeal person over a porridge person. And from what I can grok, really, the big difference between porridge and oatmeal is oatmeal uses whole oats, whereas porridge uses, like, crushed or prepared oats. Or rice. But yeah, I kind of like the thicker texture of oatmeal. Granted, I'm also the kind of person that likes, lumpy mashed potatoes. Yeah, I don't like the new thing with, like, putting all of the cooked potatoes to a ricer. I mean, I don't want baby food. I like the lumps, Maybe I'm weird.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately.
Let's take a look.
The tent looks old, but well maintained. In the darkness of the tent, a rolled up sleeping bag, cooking utensils, some books, and a kerosene lamp.
Oh.
It reeks of cigarettes.
Yeah, like, I understand people have different tastes as far as texture goes. I'm a lumpy person. Some people aren't. Takes all kinds to make a world. Oh, yeah. Yeah, where it's like a baked potato, but you just kind of like smash it up and then add your stuff onto it. That's pretty good. Speaking of baked potatoes, so are you the kind of person who eats the skin of a baked potato? Because I know I am. I eat the jacket and all. Like, to me, inside, outside, the whole potato is great. Well, let's shine our flashlight on the books.
Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
Nice.
See anything?
Well, let's see.
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine. It's a leather notebook.
Oh, yeah. Potato skins, they are wonderful. Now, granted, you can also get the best of all worlds by having potato skins and mashed potatoes by doing twice baked potatoes. Those are amazing. Ugh. Maybe I should do that for Thanksgiving rather than mashed potatoes. I'll talk to my roommates about that. That sounds nice. Or maybe I'll just have it for, random weekend. A notebook.
You pocket the worn brown leather journal.
All
A
right.
trusted friend left behind.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
Yeah. A love journal with brown leather cover and a brand name Schneller embossed on the back. Seems to have served as a loyal friend to a lonely traveler. Yep.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket.
Yeah, well, see if there's any clues on it.
It's made of full grain leather.
Ooh.
The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name. Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers.
Ah, this is like the moleskin of the Disco Elysium world. I get it.
She's got good taste and must have taken whatever she recorded here seriously.
All right, let's open her up.
The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I know anything about handwriting reading, but let's take a look at it.
The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently.
All right.
Perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins.
All right, so this is more of like a stream of consciousness kind of journal rather than a slow reflecting one. Good to know. Let's flip through them.
It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
Okay.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Absolutely. Let's go for the big one. What did she write the day Lily died?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though. Well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely.
I guess you're right there, Rube.
She is referring to betraying a previous employer. Does this suggest she did it in self-defense?
How far back do the entries go?
The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
Looking for a way out. What kind of logistics?
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Makes sense. Take a look at the diagrams.
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape.
Anything about the mother whore, aka me?
That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell.
Oh.
Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th.
All right. 9?
Great. M's peon is coming to town. No doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call?
Yep.
Were you supposed to find her, even apart from the investigation then? On M's request? No, you wouldn't do something like this. This must be a mistake.
Am I sure this is a mistake? I mean, look at me.
Whatever you may look like, you don't feel like a hired assassin.
That's good. March
Been
12th.
holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me. Did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly.
Anything personal?
Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them.
That makes sense. And the most recent entry.
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
It looks like she might have been framed.
Maybe.
That would be a first, or a fourth. But who's counting, he thinks. Very rarely does anyone actually get framed.
She didn't do it. Maybe it's good that we didn't catch her?
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other reasons to arrest her.
True, like a whole lorry full of reasons.
Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than we does. Especially if she has problems with the Madre.
Am I really a La Puta Madre agent?
No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
Who is La Puta Madre?
The head of a major Jamrock gang, specializing in drug production and trafficking. A very bad person.
Ah.
He's not 100% sure you're not indebted to this very, very bad person.
Great. Who do you think killed the merc?
Could have been Titus. Then again...
No one heard the shot.
Maybe there's a Hardy boy we've yet to meet, who acted as his accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on him. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions to ask. Let's be careful, though. The tip she gave us about the tribunal was disturbing.
Yeah.
Yes?
Nothing.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand. You jam the
55th.
pry bar between the lock and the
Nice.
staple and apply force. Your biceps bulge from the strain. The metal creaks and squeals.
Yay!
The pathetic old wood, rusty screws, and one nail stand no chance against the forces of leverage. From deep within, a bellow rips.
Leverage? Are we gonna meet Timothy Hutton? Rarg!
Suddenly, the pry bar snaps.
Oh no!
Metal shavings fly everywhere. The upper half, between the lock and the staple, falls to the ground with a thunk.
The fuck? How is this even possible?
Tools break, officer. Try to control yourself.
For example, see how calm I am, although you broke my favorite pry bar. The
Oh,
broken edge of the snapped pry bar is smooth. Took the tip right off.
I broke the pry bar. Why do I get a new one?
I don't know. You don't? Or maybe we'll find a new one. I don't carry more than one pry bar with me. I
Yeah,
thought this was a lousy way to enter a place of worship that's already in disrepair. I guess the church agreed.
This
I
was surely
guess.
just a freak accident.
Sorry.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Rattle the
Nothing
doors?
happens, only the sound of the padlock.
I don't think that's going to work.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church. The doors remain unchanged, closed.
So, wait a minute. I broke the pry bar and I still can't go in? Oh.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut.
Okay. I hate that. Using the map to quick travel, you've got to be in like really specific spots. Or your drawbridge can only be lowered from the other side. I was taking a lot of patience to do this. Yeah, I imagine.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Hello.
Oh. Hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Not invulnerable. Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat?
Huh?
Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder.
I said, you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I should. And I do.
Oh. I didn't notice that.
It's nice. Should wear one too. If you plan on staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look, man. Fuck the hat.
Don't think I'm gonna regain authorities. That kind of language really necessary.
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else.
Alright.
The whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
It's all good. What's the device you got there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
Wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
Contact microphone?
Contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Oh.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Yeah, any news on my wife's name? How about my mom?
No. You're
right.
welcome.
How does the thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Where'd you get it?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium.
Elysium.
Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole.
Sounds cool.
It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Nice.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Sounds interesting. Who's this Arno guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Elysium going kind of person.
Yeah.
Hey, didn't Piss and Fuck the World mention Van Eyck too?
Is it like a skull thing?
A skull thing? Man, you sound like 100 years old when you say that.
Well, I'm probably only 30 years off of that.
No, you don't. She's mistaken you for an old person. Say you're cool.
I get down.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
Nor do I, but I got concrete evidence that I rock in the form of a wrecked tape player and a completely trashed hostel room.
That's cool.
Yeah, you're right. Time has deserted me.
Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps?
Does that have anything to do with contact mic?
Yeah, I record stuff with it.
I mean the boxer contact mic.
No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
Yeah, but consensually.
That's not fair. And an understatement.
Yeah, I got some non-mic questions for you.
Okay.
What's your name?
Estelle.
Nice.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
And your surname?
Why?
Yeah, I'm from the police for the paperwork.
Okay, it's Berger.
Cool.
A very common name.
Probably just saying Jones for the heck of it. What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And recording what?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
What happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
What are these recordings for? The cracks, footsteps.
The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, very avant-garde.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
Cool.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
So you're making it analog. You're making it, you.
She looks at the recording device, The thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden.
Oh.
Take this, you're cold.
Didn't takes off his jacket. Oh.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's all good.
It's okay.
Then looks back up, throws you a glance. Here, you need this more than I do.
Thanks.
It's a really nice hat, but... Yeah. Revolutionary hat should be revolutionary for the people. It's supposed to be a music place. What is?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Elysium or something. Stupid. It's really not going to be a Elysium, that's for sure.
The boys?
Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Like what?
Music stuff, mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
You mean like those headphones your boyfriend sold?
Yep. They were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those.
Why not leave some of that aside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
I don't believe that, but I guess I got other questions.
Go ahead.
Tell me more of the music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become like a club for Nordic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Elysium. Except that, yeah.
Looks at the old wooden church on the poles. A mean wind comes bellowing in. 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek.
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for Anodic music here. Not in a million years.
Did you put the padlock on the church door?
No.
No?
Not really, no.
She's trying to get out of a direct lie with semantic tricks. She personally didn't put the padlock on the door.
So this isn't yours?
It's Noid's.
Oh. Noid's a friend of yours?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
And why did Noid put a padlock on the church door?
To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. It's
all
got the
good.
worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about him, he'll tell you.
Alright. So you want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right?
Yeah, why do you ask?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
Oh, I'll talk to him.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
So what's Anodic dance music?
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Nice. Like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You
Alright.
see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like. If it ever comes.
Well, enough about the church then.
Go ahead.
Tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice feeling miserable. Your age, or any age, in this weather, waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
People who built this world intended it to be better for you, but they failed. Easier living their failure with this by your side.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It's not a childish fantasy. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now.
What is?
The dark.
I know. I'll stick to it.
Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
Nice.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
Said you eating me. Nothing eating me. Maybe a mosquito.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
I guess there is something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
You? No. You? Yeah, people just putting their selfish interests above ahead of the greater good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no one understands that sometimes you gotta make sacrifices for the sake of I mean, yeah, but... Yeah...
So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress.
No, that's probably not it, is it?
No, it sounds like you just got chick issues.
You could be right. Don't know for certain.
Well, think about... Anyway, was there something else?
That's it for now.
Okay, bye.
More tribalistic markings. Posts covered in little humanoids. Pole screw in the ice keeps the tent erect. Trash from some unending party.
A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
What is this?
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
Yep. Let's push it
The
open.
pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Yay! Someone home away from home, just like yours.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Hello.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
Yeah, I guess squeeze in.
Sorry, you barely have room for one.
Okay.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Alright. Oh boy. Pile of needle sprays, brand name Nosafed. Ooh, nice. Smells like sweat and laundry detergent, plus a trace of ether. Speaker, big kind they use for live music. Can is filled with appear to be water. Label says distilled. I mean, could be water, could be alcohol, although hopefully they aren't drinking, you know, just pure alcohol. That's, I mean, that'd be just terrible and taste awful.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, alright.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
Hey.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
I have a feeling these are rockers because that looks very David Bowie.
And Egghead.
And looks super familiar, but I can't think of it right now.
Egg!
Okay. I wasn't expecting you to look like that, but alright.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
How many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
Uh-huh.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
So, why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Uh-huh.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Right.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Yeah, no need. Place is pretty bad.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't fall for it.
Enough histrionics. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church. And I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Right.
Burnouts.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that. In Reversholt.
Strike that. The word.
Okay.
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
Oh.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Feel like you may be laying this on a bit thick. What's really so bad about these dopeheads and burnouts?
They're spooky.
And what do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Uh-huh.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead.
Right.
So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I guess I'll look into it. Tell me more.
All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
Cell told me Noid put the padlock on the door. Why?
Oh, so you met her. Good.
He's not as glad as he would like you to think. There's concern in his voice.
I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
Did you lock people in the building?
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
How long have those people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
How can you be sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Yeah. Andre, do you know what involuntary manslaughter is?
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here.
I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. What does anything mean, really?
Oh, yeah.
I catch your drift.
I knew you'd get it. You're one smart cop.
It feels good to be the smart cop, doesn't it? That's a good cop to be. Has a nice ring to it. Smart cop. You wouldn't want to be stupid cop, now would you? But still, maybe he's just sucking up to you.
You can stop buttering me up now, thank you.
Oh, okay. I won't do that anymore.
Yeah, I need the key.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
Speed Freak dips into his belt pack and proceeds the yellow key. Then he makes a sudden cool infusion move, tossing in your general direction. Okay. We got a 50-50% chance to be the cool cop, or we could be a normal adult person. We're gonna try to be cool.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left.
Catch.
Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The Speed Freaks nod to you approvingly.
Thanks, man.
The Speed Freak nods to you. A respectful nod. You proved something here.
Right, other questions.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
Who exactly are the people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
You haven't even seen them and you want the police involved.
Well, there's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
Huh.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Okay. I mean, could be electroplating, could be, using electrolysis to remove rust. Definitely a lot of things you can do with that.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Could also use electricity to turn salt water into fresh water by speeding up boiling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
Yeah, probably the people who live there.
No, the other one. Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg. Felt like silence. Awful silence.
Well, hello, darkness, my old friend.
For this man, even regular silence is awful enough. But that was something greater.
You haven't physically seen anyone.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
You tell me more about the machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
So you had me tell they're burnouts and dope heads if you haven't seen them.
Well, honestly, I can't. But I am.
Right.
This is a below feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Well, you can't, but you do. I should add weaponized idiocy to my own repertoire.
Hey now, I'm 70% sure they're substance abusers.
Right.
Don't let all that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from?
So, this is about something watching you. Is it something on the wing of the plane?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Great.
Not human? As in a ghost? Do you know what he means?
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
crab man?
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
Crabs aren't. I mean, crabs can probably go up, semi-vertical, thing, but they're not good at doing upside down stuff.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior.
Right.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for climbing walls.
Yeah. Sure, there was a crab man.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
Right.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Yeah, there's probably no crab man. That doesn't mean there is nothing there. Let's talk about something else.
What?
Yeah. You mentioned some kind of list. Bah. And some kind of Celiadites on the church. Who are they?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
Alright.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Before we go on, what do you mean by meteorin?
You know, of Meteo, concerning Meteo.
Meteo, the spell?
Meteo, a country, on Muindi, on the Muindi Isla.
Right.
One of the poorest of the first world nations today, but once a great ancient civilization. Capital, Tilakos by Percentic.
Ah, founding party. I know them. Can you refresh my memory?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization.
And
they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no?
sounds exactly like kind of who would want loud anodonic music in their church.
You're right, they do.
Uh-huh.
Pericarnassian church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance.
Mm-hmm.
Love is hardcore.
Yep.
Unity.
Unity.
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
As if it's obvious, you will not break into dance.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters.
No words. Enjoy the beat.
Feels good.
I guess love can be hardcore.
Oh yeah, it can.
He's coming around. You're getting it.
Yay! I'm starting to head bob. How could the founding party be anything but enthusiastic? Dance music is about love. So is the Pericarnassian church.
Yeah! Yakokata, the place to be.
He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving. You feel like you could go for a little disco when, or if they get this club going. You've got it in you.
I guess that's it for now.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. Good.
Yeah.
It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading.
Sign?
Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align.
Oh, are you my cosine? That's interesting.
I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do.
Why are you called the Noid? Should I avoid you?
The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
Right.
It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
And we need some sign matching.
Yes. Further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve this would be by getting us into the church.
Oh. Can you tell me about the sticker?
The sticker? You mean the yellow one? Can you describe it to me?
Interesting. He wants you to describe it, though he already knows what it looks like.
Okay, it's a yellow circle, human face, with X's for eyes and a smile underneath. I think the X's mean the guy's dead.
Good, good. What did you want to know?
Oh, that makes the sticker so modern.
Simplicity was brought to us by classical solarist modernism, but that was a tasteful, harmonious simplicity, right?
Okay.
Hardcore is not tasteful or outwardly harmonious. It's a warning shot. This will be dangerous. The echo of man's loss, haunting him.
Oh, okay.
The sticker, the clothes, the music, same thing.
Come up with this by yourself?
Not alone. Many people are thinking the same thing right now. There's a gathering at the Elysium. The beat is the same for all.
So, I was right? Dead guy smiling?
Yes, you're the 23rd person to get it right. And I've asked 23 people. Looks like it's a dead guy smiling to the entire human race.
How do you think that's so?
We're all the same. Same eyes, same smiles, same death.
What does it mean?
He defeated history. We are living in the age of history, and in the eyes of history, we are always already dead. How can we ever smile then? Because history is a lie, and so are its deaths.
Right.
The present moment and life are the hardcore. The hardcore expels death. Or maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's just really ecstatic about the beats.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe the smiling dead guy is similar to communism. It's also dead, but doesn't care.
Yeah, that interpretation holds.
I think we've exhausted the subject.
I guess one could write an entire treatise on the thing. But what for?
Well, tell me about the machines.
Weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery. Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked up Samaran science sign. You know, the kind that goes head first into the supernatural.
What's wrong with supernatural?
Nothing's wrong with it. You should definitely be researched. You can still do sick shit with it though.
True.
The sickest. That's perhaps why it should be researched.
Supernatural. So you think it's real? Actually exists?
Most of it doesn't exist. But there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist. Because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs.
Ah.
Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff.
Alright, maybe I'll come back later.
A young
And
man
you?
with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Walshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secret,
Hardcore!
I'll be quiet.
Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent.
I was wondering if you knew who killed the mercenary hanging behind the Whirling and Rags hostel.
Good morning, yeah! 1, 2, 3, Yakokata, the place to be!
You know, I think this really doesn't have anything to do with the
It's
case.
the message, so listen and you will see. No illusion, the spirit is what you feel.
could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Maybe. But I think we are going to call this a video. Save. And when we come back tomorrow, we're going to be heading back to the world of Dragon Quest IV. And I got a 3-day weekend. Might try to do something on Monday, but it might be more on Picardo than it is on Twitch. Might be trying to use my new tablet, but that'll be for another time. And I think before we go, okay. I think I'm going to send a raid, and yeah, when we come back, other good things. Have a good one, folks.